Oh my. Hey guys, guess who? Oh, this is a little twisted. Alright. Yep, it's me, Mike D57S. Do I even need to say it? Yeah, you're looking right next to it right now. Yep, I apparently got a new model. Yep. And if you could see, it's the Bachmann Emily. Yeah, I know, it's about time, isn't it? And no, I don't have her coaches, sadly. No, I didn't really get her coaches, but I wish I did. I mean, I would probably get like 2 sets or something. Well, I mean, just, to remodel into those, old coaches from seasons, from, the very first season. I don't know why we see those anymore. Alright. One question I am wondering. Did they model those? Were the season 1 branch line coaches remodeled into Emily's? I don't know. Alright, anyways, yeah. So, Emily is a new model I got. Now, I just want to point this out. Now, apparently, I got this model on spring break. Yeah, I know. It's June, and I got her on spring break. Okay, sorry I didn't really bring this up, you guys. I really didn't get any time. Yes, because I was busy. And B, this model, I don't really use it that much. And this is the part where I bring up my opinion on a character. And I know I brought this up before in Railway Retrospective Season 7, but oh well. I will have to be, very clear why. I like Emily, but not as much as the other Season 7 characters. My favorites would have to be like a tie between Murdoch or Arthur, who in hopes I really wish Bachmann wouldn't... sorry if I'm talking like spaghetti here. In hopes I really wish Bachmann would make them. Yeah, I know Hormy's made Murdoch, but he's too expensive, and he's in the UK. I don't know if I am going to get him. Alright, anyways, as I was saying, I like Emily. She's sweet and all, and probably my favorite female character in tie with Mavis now that I thought of it. The only reason is because I'm into more of the seasons 1 to 4, characters, mostly than 5 to 6, but I like season 7 altogether with, some of the CGI characters, like Paxton, for example. Alright, and I do like Emily mostly in season 7, where she was very cheerful, she was very kind, she had this, big sister or, motherly personality even though she was young, and even my friend Henry, who is known as SteamOut60, actually disagrees with her age. He really thinks that Emily should be old, but, oh well, you can't always get what you want. Alright, so, yeah, and I mean, I'm impressed that she even has her own coaches, and, so, but I really don't like, how from season 8 onwards, where they make her an incredibly bossy and incredibly arrogant and incredibly stubborn. And to be honest, I don't really prefer her as any of the main characters, no. I would prefer to her as one of the recurring characters. How many main characters do I think there should be in this show? 8. And that excludes Emily, no. The main characters I think should be Thomas, Edward, Henry, Gordon, James, Percy, Toby, and the 8th being Sir Topham Hatt. Seriously, why? Okay, yes, I get the idea. I know that there were some criticisms, saying that Thomas was being really, sexist. And yeah, I could see that. But on the contrary, though, I am okay with, male characters. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like female characters. I mean, who doesn't? And I have a few favorite female characters anyway. And Emily, I mean, I wish she would have been she would have been a good role model for young girls, but seeing how she's portrayed on TV now as being, incredibly bossy, well, okay, maybe she's kind of deteriorating from that, of being a lot more friendlier and helpful. But, I'm sorry, I mean, the bossiness, I really don't like bossy female characters. No. Even in real life, it just gets on my nerves. Okay, so, yeah, enough with the ranting and all that. I think I bashed on it too much. I think I just, overbashed it. Alright, so... And I've also been hearing, and I'm starting to think it myself, were Head Entertainment, inspired by the show Theater Tugboat? Now, don't get me wrong, I love Theater Tugboat, but was that an inspiration to them? Because, we had that other tugboat named Emily, and then we got this character named Emily. I swear to God, it just has to be. I mean, really. And they even make her one of the main trio with Gordon and James. It's Gordon, Henry, and James. Not Gordon, James, and Emily. Okay, enough. Deep breaths. Okay, enough. Alright, so enough of the ranting. Yeah. I like Emily, but just not as much as, most of the characters. And I prefer... I think I would prefer Mavis over her any day, but I will be the first to admit... Well, I know what others admit, but yeah, she is beautiful. Even though she's a train. Okay, enough of that. Let's just get on with this model. Alright, now... It's been a while since I reviewed a Tender engine, so, like when I review Tender engines... Tender first. Okay. Now, I really, like the way, the color green is portrayed. Like, the emerald is really beautiful. Like, seeing how green is my favorite color, but my favorite shade of green would have to be the same as Percy, Henry, and Duck. But, it's fine. I mean, it's nice and all. I even like, that they got these yellow, squares painted on, and these gates right here on top, and of course, they even got the filicap molded on. Nice. Nicely done. I only wish they would, mold, some little rivets on. And the Colo looks nice, too. The only nitpick, and I have, even with the locomotive, I'll get to that later, is that there's not really that much, room, over here for, a driver or fireman or any figure to stand on for that matter. Usually I don't care, but now I'm starting to. They even molded the golden rail bars on, and I even like that. And they even got, the brakes on. I remember, I've said before this was a pony truck, but I didn't know I corrected myself, but no, it's not. And the wheels are nice, and I don't know if it's me, but let me just check the wheels for a minute. Yeah, I was just checking, to see if these were flanged or anything. Now, when I heard Bachmann were making Emily back then, I was surprised. Well, seeing how, in terms of popularity, never mind. Okay, and they even have a black hook and no red pad or anything on it. But I'm okay, because I like Emily, but I don't really care for her that much. She's one of the least favorites I got in tie with, Daisy and Fergus. And, yeah. But she's at least one of those reasons out there of why I like Season 7. And I don't really remember. Were the buffers all that black? Just the way they made this error with Duck? I don't know. I haven't really looked at the character recently. I would pause now, but in this rate, I really don't care. Something else I know is that the buffers are silver. Don't get me wrong, they're nice, but I prefer, the brass. Because I'm a classic series person, I prefer, the brass look. Like from Season 7. And I've heard this too from a fan who commented on my Bachmann Duck review, saying that they seem to be getting the characters, in their most recent state. Well, Duck still has his classic series face, so not too recent. Maybe just with the characters who were mostly seen, like Diesel, who has a CGI face, and later Arian Burt. Oh, that reminds me. What is taking so long with Arian Burt, really? Why didn't, Bachmann sell them yet? Okay, I'm sorry if I'm acting a little too whiny here, but I've just been waiting for these guys for a very long time, so that way Bachmann can make other Thomas models. And that, of course, includes Oliver, who I'm still waiting for. Even Toad. So, yeah, I really prefer, the brass buffers over the silver. Oh, well, you can't always get what you want, though. And, they should have had more extra room like they do with Donald and Douglas later on. But oh well. So enough with the tender. Now we'll get to the engine. Unlike the other tender engines, like Edward or James, who are medium-sized, Emily's wheels are all connected to her body, and there are times where she can derail. And is that annoying? Hell yeah, it definitely is. The wheels are pretty much flanged and stuff. Oh, actually, this wheel is. And turns out, for those of you who don't have a Bachmann Emily, and I was surprised, I've seen reviews on this before I got the model, that this wheel is connected to her driving wheel. Like, literally, just watch this. If you could see. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have my tripod right now, so I'm just gonna... Oh, well, I think you get the idea. Yeah, this wheel actually will turn because it's connected to her driving wheel. Yeah, and like the other tender engines, the cab is a disappointment. Okay, maybe they molded in a firebox, but a really sloppy-looking firebox. And... oh, and I just realized this. You can't even see your portholes either. No, not through them. I'm surprised. The cab really isn't that opened, like with some of the recent tender engines. And I think Bachmann should make more tender engines, like Murdoch and stuff. Okay, yeah, so I even love the way they molded on her safety valve and her whistle. I prefer her whistle from, season 17 and onwards, the one that sounds like, Tilly from The Little Engine That Could. And, of course, from Season 7. And I'm glad they changed her whistle that way, yeah. That was nice. The rest of the yellow, lining on her is done very well, like on her tender. But except, instead of here, this lining is brass. And they even have, like, the handrails molded in brass as well. And her running board, I doubt anyone could stand on this. I don't know. And yeah, like, of course, I know this too, that Emily is based off of a Great Northern Railway, Stirling, and there's only one, of course, that's in York. Damn, they had to scrap all of them. Cruel British Railway bastards. Not being stereotypical, but British. But I'm only just criticizing, for the fact that we need more steam engines, even though that's bad for the environment. Alright. So, anyways, yeah, the yellow lining looks nice, and they even got this little box here. I think this is where, the maintenance box where they keep her tools. And, yeah, the handrails are nice. I like the brass and stuff. I still prefer the silver handrails and stuff, but brass is a very nice color. Not my total favorite, but it's a nice one of those grand colors. Now, of course, it wouldn't be Emily, or even a Stirling for that matter, if I talked about the big driving wheel. Now, the driving wheel takes up 70% of her height, but that's okay. And, well, okay, maybe I'd take that back. I mean, it's just, I wish this wouldn't really be, way too big, but just kind of like this size, and they shrink it down a little bit. And again, I like the safety valve, the portals are nice, and the whistle. They got the step doors here, and they even got this back wheel. The wheels are pretty big, whoa, just like this wheel. And they even got the piston. Again, I really like the way that they molded on these wheels. Oh, and I just wanted to just get this out of the way. Just in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about. God damn it. Yeah, her motor really isn't the best, but we'll get to that soon. In a part 2, if there is going to be one. They got the rest of her smoke box nicely, and they even got this gold rim right on top. I love the way that they molded on her funnel. Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. There's this dog I just heard. I thought it was someone else. Yeah. And they got... I like the gold rim. And in fact, I even love the way they modeled an actual Stirling's funnel as well as Emily's funnel in the TV series. I mean, really, her stack really looks that nice. And they even got, the front coupling too, the black hook. She's got no vacuum hose, no lamp irons, and just like her, tender, she's got silver buffers. They look nice, but I prefer the brass. I don't know if I'm going to paint these or anything, but then we'll get to the running board, and then, of course, it wouldn't be a Thomas the Tank Engine model without the face. What can I say? It's beautiful, just like, the actual character, and they actually got that very well, and a lot of, little girls who I think love Thomas, I definitely recommend this to them, even though I doubt any, girl would be into model trains. I mean, little girl. Sorry if I'm being sexist here. Oh, dear. Yeah, but nonetheless, the face looks really, really nice. It's just captures a cheerful, young engine who I really wish wouldn't be so bossy. Alright, so that's enough of this. Do I have any nitpicks at all? Well, as I said, the wheels and stuff. But there's another part. Getting her on the rails, including her tender in, the bottom. Well, I mentioned this. It's just getting her on the track, basically. It's a pain in the ass, really. Especially the tender, because of the wheels. And just, the fact that this model has flanges, it pisses me off. Like, just the way, and this model really isn't one of my favorites, and it's pretty much the reason of why I don't really run it that much. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And as far as how strong and fast she is, no, she is not. But we'll get to that right now. Oh, and just something else, you guys. I actually got some new rolling stock during spring break. Yeah, I got this. A flatbed. Yeah, I have the paint drums, but I don't feel like putting them on right now. Let me just, get a train set up for her. Okay, guys, I'm back. So the flatbed was one, and the tar tank, and this. Why do they have to discontinue these two? And this got discontinued as well. Seriously, Bachmann, you shouldn't really discontinue these. I mean, there will be some children who will be wanting them, and I know I'd be wanting some more. Yeah, I actually do plan on increasing the rolling stock with the same, but oh well. And time will be time, and, money will be... time is money? Alright, never mind that. Let's just get to this actual strength test and get it over with. Okay. And this is a pain, too. Yeah. I don't know if I wasted up her juice, but anyways, here's Emily. She usually do that. She is kind of fast, but I'm sorry, she's really not that strong. Like, literally. But that's okay. I mean, Emily, I don't think is really the strongest engine in the show, but oh well, it doesn't matter. And just driving her along was such a real ass. I mean, so, let me just get Emily... You know what? I'll just give, one more run. How about that? Okay, guys. There, that's done. Now, that is the Bachmann Emily, the Stirling. Now, my final thoughts. Not one of their best, but granted, she's one of my least favorite characters. It doesn't mean I dislike her. I like her, but not that much. I mean... And granted, I still plan on getting Bachmann Salty. Spencer, I don't know. He's pretty expensive, and plus, he's a douchebag. But I definitely plan on getting Ari and Bert, and Oliver and Boko if Bachmann make them. But what will become of the custom models I made of him and Daisy? I'm gonna decide on that soon. But anyways, the Emily model is fine, though. So, I think, for appearances, I will do probably a 9.5, or maybe just a 9. And it's just, the buffers and stuff. I wish they were brass, but maybe I'm being a little biased. Maybe I'll just give them a 9.5 out of 10. If they were brass, then I would give it a 10. but maybe I should give it a whole 10. I mean, at least it's all TV series accurate, just even though the brass... Okay, enough of me blabbering around. I get the idea. Okay. And now she's not that strong. So maybe in total, I think I was going to give her a 7, but I decided, why not a 7.5, or maybe an 8? Oh, you know what? 7.5 is good for me. It isn't a bad model. I like it, but not that much as, the other models I got. Yeah. So, yeah. That's Emily, and now this is Mike D57S signing off. And I don't know if there will be any videos in the future, but don't worry. Rest assured, it will happen. But I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this, but I do have one video planned. I've mentioned this before, and I was about to do it during the beginning of my school year, where I was going to plan to re-review every Thomas model from, Thomas, Edward, Henry, Gordon, James, Percy, Toby, Donald, Douglas, Mavis, and possibly Diesel. I just think I could do better. I mean, I've been getting a lot of here's what I'm going to say. I've been getting a lot of criticisms lately about the quality, and yeah, you guys, I'm sorry, but this was the best I could do. I know. But hey, don't you worry. This will be good, and I would, delete my old ones, but well. I mean, they pretty much will be privatized, yeah. It slips out. Alright, so that's it. This is Mike D57S signing off, and I hope you enjoyed this review on Emily. Goodbye.